Everybody comes in, your grandmother. They're coming all over the place. They're coming all over the place.
Retweet. That was an opinion of somebody, and that was a retweet. I'll put it out there. People can decide for themselves. I don't take a position.
Something like that. They went out on some corporate news show and they said that we are not going to guarantee a vote for Nancy Pelosi.
Why are you putting an accent on there? Oh, because it's Hope Bowman. All right.
Heather.
I'm putting an accent on there? What the hell is this? What the hell is this? What the hell is this?
That isn't what it meant.
Well, what does it mean now?
It meant that it's indicative of low-resolution thinking.
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree.
They had a very bad original concept. It was carried out poorly, and the cover-up was one of the worst in the history of government. Very simple. Bad deal, should have never been thought of. Somebody really messed up, and they had the worst cover-up ever. And where it should have stopped is at the deal standpoint, when they thought about it, because whoever thought of that idea, I think is in big trouble.
Force the vote, sure, was a failure.
No, seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of raw peppers and hot sauce.
It's not that they don't want to help. They don't know quite what to do. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night, the phone. Make sure the kids hear word.
Brandon, I'll agree. Get in. Once they think they can get in, they're coming, and they are coming at levels that you haven't even seen yet.
I eat extra sharp. That's what I eat.
Hello, users, and welcome to another episodic in-style-lution. An in-style, a show. It's a YouTube show. I mean, it's not really a show. I mean, I call it a show because, you know, why not? But it's not. It's more of like a, I don't even know what, there's like a video? Like, what am I, it's a live stream? It's, I don't know. It's not really a show. I mean, if it were a show, it would have producers, right? There's no producers here. But we got a show lined up for y'all, and by we, I mean, you know, and so we got a show here. Let me adjust my bullshit so that I can move my my mouse more effectively. Got my mouse pad like right here, so you know it's a little bit of a my hair. I've got hair. So just you know, don't mind me. Got hair. I've got some hair on my head, and so don't look at that. All right, so we've got a show here. I've got a show. You've got a so you're watching you're doing something. So anyway, I got a show here. And got a show. So folks, we're gonna be doing it. We're gonna be forcing the poll. So let me set this up real quick. So the poll is coming, and wait for it. Whoa, it's coming, and it is there. There's the poll. So it's here, it's there, it's everywhere. So vote in the goddamn. Look at this fucking. I'm such a fucking cunt. So we got a show here. Is this distracting? But we got a show here. I got a show. I got something lined up. I got a couple stories. Got some stories. Got some oh, this is good. Ooh, God, this knot is like, it is brutal. I've got something going on there that needs to be looked at. Wow. Oh, this is great. It's all a dream. Yeah. East is peace cancellation. That's correct. All right, I'm going to deal with the rest of this knot later when I'm in the shower. This is too much. That knot is ruining my high. I'm so sorry. I got carried away. But I got some stories here. Utilizing my legal weed vapor apparatus on today's show. We've got the there you go. Oh, God damn. All right. Okay, I'm ready for a show. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready for a show. All right, so I'm looking at the United States of America. Because I live in the United States, some people say that I should do non-USA related material, but you know that's a statement that I may or may not agree with. So I want to talk about this one. Well, actually, okay, let's talk about this one first. Okay. So look at this. Look at this bullshit. This is the New York Police Department, at their, like, service for the slain officer. I forget his name, like Rivera or something. The slain officers that were slain. Well, actually, they were slayed, and now they're slain. So they started off as officers, and then they were slayed, and then they became slain officers. So I've been covering this story. You know, I do a segment on my show called Officer Down. I love to highlight when officers are downed. I think no one else really reports it with my perspective, so I feel that's a niche I'm filling. And so every now and then when I do these officer downs, you see sometimes these cases get a little national media attention and stuff like that. You know, most of the time officers die or they kill themselves or, you know, whatever, and like no one really cares. But then sometimes you see like the media machine kind of pick up a story. And so I want to talk about that because I think it's super interesting what cop deaths get picked up. Because if you love cops, you'd say, oh, well, we should do a segment every time an officer's down, but like in a way to show blah, 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 blah. Right? So, personally, I don't give a shit. But, I've noticed that sometimes these stories go a little viral, and it happens like there's usually one every couple of months. Or sometimes there's like, one, and then like they'll just like maybe carry it forward a little bit where they'll like show another officer dying, because I do these officer down videos relatively frequently. Like it's like every other day there's an officer down. Like it's honestly pretty great in the comical abstract sort of way. But anyway, so Jason Rivera, I think, was the one, and then the other one I forget. I don't give a shit. They died. Now again, New York cops have died before, and this hasn't happened. It seems to me that now, because like we have a cop as the mayor, by we I mean other people, I don't live in New York City, but other people have the cop as the mayor. So I think that what they're trying to do is this big tough on crimes push, to try to use, well, now the mayor's a cop, so they're going to do basically whatever the police department wants. So I think what they're trying to do is build up public sympathy and all that kind of bullshit. And again, this is what I wanted to talk about. Like whenever cops have this whenever there's any scrutiny over police in this country in the national scene, right, they always come back with, oh, look, dead cop, look, you can't talk about defund the police anymore, there's a dead ass cop over there. And I want to talk more about dead cops in the next segment. I'm going to do another classic episode of Officer Down, but I wanted to do this one first because, again, the media is a big part of this. Cops die all the time. They sign up to die, and that's what they say. I don't know, but I'd rather cover stories about like pizza delivery drivers getting killed or like roofers getting killed, because it's actually more deadly to be a roofer or a pizza delivery driver. But that's a whole different story. But anyway, so by the way, this is a super spreader event. I just want to say, like, none of these motherfuckers are wearing masks. We know that most cops are either lying about their vaccination or are under-vaccinated or whatever, where they only get one shot or whatever, So this is just, let's be honest, Omicron, super spreader, I'm just throwing that out there. It's in the ether now. Bodan in the chat. Reminder, Bodan, on Monday, I'm going to be doing the top 10 demos of January stream. So you don't want to miss that. You don't want to miss that because I know you want me to stream Doom, and this is the kickstart to more Doom streams is this. So you're going to want to show up for that. But your question, I'm confused about your weekend show starting time. I expected it at 10 a.m. Okay, so here's the thing. When I was doing the protests every day, the weekend times would be different, so I acclimated to what people were comfortable with. And so, but then, I kind of just stuck with the Saturday time being 12. And then I asked a couple weeks ago or last week, whatever, if people want me to go back to 10 every day, because I personally would prefer to do 10 a.m. every day. But like some people say that they like to sleep in on the weekends. Whatever. So so then people suggested that I do Saturday and Sunday at noon. But I personally, I would prefer to do it at 10 a.m. every day, and it's in flux. I mean, obviously I'm Sunday was 10 a.m. and now it might be noon. So like the time is literally changing right now, which shows that I'm open to the times being changed. Yeah, so that's the answer to that question. Andrea is very attractive. Just saying. I try to tell myself that every day. There you go. What time zone am I speaking in? East. Not to be confused with West. I agree, Bodan. I agree. I agree very much so. I like my schedule, because I do a show every day and I don't really like leave the house much. My schedule is like every day is just a day. I don't really care about weekends. I don't really care about weekdays. It's just day. For me. So like that's why I prefer to keep the same schedule. But if I can get more viewers or make the viewers I have more comfortable, then that's, and it doesn't matter to me. All I have to do is look at the calendar. So it doesn't really matter to me that much. So, I'd rather do what's best for the others involved. That's true. I should do a week where I directly compete with Majority Report and see who the loyalists are. Huh? Anyone? Bob Carmody wouldn't make it. No chance in hell. Mila probably wouldn't make it. Matt Strackbone, not a chance. Not a chance. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just do 1 week. We'll see how it goes. Where the real homies at? Am I on Twitch? No? But yeah, Bodan, I'm going to be doing the Doom stream. I'm thinking of doing it after the Above It All stream. So if I do Above It All at 10, I'll end maybe around 11:30, and I'll probably end up doing the Doom stream around noonish. And so that is going to be fun. I've got a lot to say. And again, I'm doing my top 10 favorite demos of the runs I've been uploading over the last month, because I'm doing a Doom speed run every day. All right, folks. So let's talk about this goddamn ass bullshit. So we got an officer down here, and this is some big news. We got an officer down, and I gotta go get you the officer, because this is important to understand. Officer down. Let's go. Okay. All right, folks. Officer down. So, flashback. This guy, I made a video about this guy, because sometimes when I do officer down videos, I will talk about when cops quit, and other such things and so forth. They don't need to die as long as they stop being a cop. As long as the officer title is stripped away from another person. That's all I really care about ultimately. But either way, so this guy quit the force. Apparently didn't care that much about protecting and serving over the vaccination requirement for the police. And so I want to play this video. This is a little bit of a flashback to October of 2021. But I got news for you folks. Officer down. He's dead. Spoiler alert. So let's watch. This was his last viral moment. This guy, this video that we are watching right now is of a cop who decided to kill themselves, because that's what it is. Not getting vaccinated and then dying of COVID, that's suicide, right? You chose to kill yourself. That's ultimately what it is. We really need to talk about suicides in the force. I think a lot of police officers have a lot of trauma that they don't know how to combat, and so they often wind up, beating their spouses. Around 40% of cops abuse their spouses. 80% of cops voted for Donald Trump. It's hard to tell, honestly, which one's worse. But either way, so again, these cops have a lot of trauma, and we need to start talking about suicidal awareness in the police force. But anyway, this is Washington State Trooper, what is his name? John Baptiste, is that it? No, that's the chief. Robert LeMay? I don't even know this guy's name, but it also doesn't matter. This guy, this is his suicide note, folks. Let's watch.
This is my final sign-off. After 22 years of serving the citizens of the state of Washington, being asked to leave because I am dirty. Numerous fatalities, injuries. I've worked sick. I've played sick. We've buried lots of friends over these years. I'd like to thank you guys. I'd like to thank the citizens of Yakima County, as well as my fellow officers within the valley. Without you guys, I wouldn't have been very successful, and you've kept me safe and got me home to my family every night. Thank you for that. Wish I could say more, but this is it. So, State 1034, this is the last time you'll hear me in a state patrol car. And Jay Inslee can kiss my ass.
Look at him, he thinks he's so cool. Look, he thinks he's like...
Thank you for your 22 years and 5 months of service to the citizens of Washington State. You've taken on many roles in your time with the patrol. In your first year, you delivered a baby while on patrol in Bremerton. You've been a DRE instructor, certified technical specialist, and reconstructionist, peer support member, part of the chapter.
Anyway, so that was his suicide note, and whoever's speaking on the other end of the line, I hope that they're feeling very proud of themselves. They could have intervened and saved their friend from certain death. Oh, my friend is an anti-vaxxer clown. Maybe I should try to get them vaccinated so they don't die. This wasn't her friend. She was an enabler. This is someone who is suicidal. They will cry for help, and then someone will basically bait them into it. Yeah, you should maybe. You're kind of, no one really does care about you. You really don't have any friends. That's what this person is. And she should feel horrible for the rest of her life because, again, she enabled this person's suicide. So again, at the end of the day, I do have to say, officer down. And again, but I just this is I just wanted to make an allegory so that people can, maybe think about this in a different fashion. This is suicide. When you don't get vaccinated against a pandemic virus and then the virus kills you, that's suicide. That's like jumping off a boat in the ocean, right? And not knowing how to swim. That's suicide. If you know how to swim, okay, I mean, being in the ocean's not that big of a deal. You'll probably get out at some point, right? But if you don't know how to swim, you're gonna die. And so you're good. If you are convinced everybody's gonna get COVID, which is what these right-wing lunatics are saying, why wouldn't you want to get vaccinated? If you think everyone's gonna get COVID, and people that are unvaccinated die at a higher rate than those who are vaccinated against COVID, but these people are just, at the end of the day, they are dumb and they are suicidal. And they all need help. So, fuck them. And officer down. Yeah, Matt came in the middle of the segment here, but this motherfucker died. He dead. Rip. It's true. That's true. I do need a feature-length film time slot on the Majority Report. That is true. Because they give it to grifters. They give free feature-length film time slots to grifters. But I have yet to get my own feature-length film. I'm just saying, it's a little weird. It's certainly interesting. And you should definitely call them about it. That's what I will say. Hello, Monsieur Lestrange. That's a good question. I agree. All right, folks. We've got breaking. This is some breaking news, folks. This is some extremely important information. Folks, I don't like to report on this kind of stuff because, honestly, it makes me depressed. But this is a classic story of, just seeing people just, they don't see eye to eye anymore. And and usually, it's not like this high profile. So, but this is Mike Pence saying basically that it's over with Donald Trump. Let's watch.
When's the last time you talked to former President Trump? You guys good?
We talked last summer, and I've said many times that it was difficult. January 6th was difficult. It was a tragic day in the life of the nation. I know I did my duty under the Constitution of the United States, but the President and I sat down in the days that followed that. We spoke about it, talked through it. We parted amicably.
When's the last time you talked to former President?
That's such a good way to end the clip. But I just love it. Yeah, we talked last summer. Okay, I mean, that's a while ago. I don't know, this is just really interesting to watch. I do think Mike Pence is going to try to run against Donald Trump, I think. I wouldn't be surprised. But again, it's also Mike Pence could just run, and then let's say Donald Trump dies of a Big Mac-induced heart attack, right? Well, then he's, he's just kind of putting himself out there, and I find it pretty adorable, to be honest. But again, we need to understand that these people are fucking criminals. They're fucking big lies, stupid-ass bullshit, conspiracy garbage, where they pretend that Donald Trump's a winner of a fucking contest that they made up or whatever. It's nonsense. Again, just want to be very clear. Joe Biden is the winner of the 2020 election. Donald Trump lost. He lost. But, these people were pretending otherwise because they're crazy and they were trying to, basically just destroy the country. So, I mean, at the end of the, I did my constitutional right or duty or whatever. How about enforcing the other parts of the Constitution? I don't know, the First Amendment to the Constitution. Think of all the freedom of the press violations that were contributed or that were committed under the Trump-Pence administration, especially over the 2020 protests. Think of all the journalists that were shot in the fucking face by police officers, right? So the First Amendment, I did my constitutional duty, blah, 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 blah. These motherfuckers don't care about the Constitution. Mike Pence was just a coward. But thankfully, he was a good kind of coward because, the other option was a little scary, But at the end of the day, these motherfuckers don't actually care about this shit. But I do think that that's funny. We spoke last summer. That's, good for you. All right, so we got some more news here, folks. It's going to be really cold on the eastern seaboard of the United States of America. There's a blizzard, folks. I didn't see that, Anastasia. Could you DM it to me on Twitter? Oh my god, this is epic. Okay. Folks, there's a lot of questions that we're asking each other and ourselves in this moment of U.S. history in the United States of America. The number one question on that list is, why the fuck does my hair look like this? I don't know. I'm sorry you have to see that. But the other questions that we're asking ourselves is why there's a hair in my mouth. All right, but finally, the real question of what we're asking ourselves and everyone around us is, are cops being targeted? That's right, folks. USA Today publishes an article with the headline, "Police Attacked in at least 5 states in about a week. Are officers being targeted?" Now, this is actually interesting because I actually have said that the other day. I did a couple of, I think I did 3 officer down segments in one show, and that's pretty crazy. So I did note that there's a lot of dead cops recently. So I'm glad someone else is actually paying attention to that. But let's at least read their article and see. Oh, already a subscriber, sign in. Never mind, there is no article. There you go, folks. Well, I don't care what they have to say anyway, so I got paywalled. Damn, I thought I had free articles remaining, but then I refreshed the fucking page. It's over. It's done. It's done. Officer down. That's all I have to say. snowfall totals. Here are the amounts of snow in New Jersey and Philadelphia region from the nor'easter. It's a lot of snow. It's a lot of snow. All right, this is a good story. Oh, alrighty, all right, folks. So we talk a lot about Republicans on this goddamn show. And why do we talk about Republicans? Well, because they're fucking crazy. And so here's another example of Republicans being fucking crazy. So here's an article. Second World War veteran twice denied absentee ballot under Texas voting law. Kenneth Thompson, 95 years old, must submit a social security or driver's license number, which wasn't required in the 1940s. So again, a lot of these Republican states are just kind of overhauling all of their election stuff slightly. Really, at the end of the day, it's just an excuse to, quote, like purge the voting rolls, right? Because every time they do these rules changes, you know, it gives people an excuse to just like, oh, well, we'll just purge everyone, and when they vote again, they'll re-register and blah, blah, blah. Now, again, this is just one story of one individual. Think of all of the amounts of individuals that have this happen to them, and they just go, they walk away from the voting booth on election day, thinking they were registered to vote, and then they're told, oh, well, you're not registered actually, and they don't have what they need on. They don't have their social security card on them or something. And so but I got to get to work, so they don't have time to go home, and then boom, they're done, right? They can't vote anymore. So again, think of all the amounts of people that this occurs to. And then this story is about someone who's, it's just, the way it's designed against the World War II veteran or whatever. It's to make it seem more absurd. They could have picked a number of other people, or a number of other people could have been interviewed about it. But, still, let's read. A 95-year-old Second World War veteran, twice denied an absentee ballot under a restrictive Texas voting law, has attracted support from prominent figures, including Beto O'Rourke, a voting rights campaigner and former presidential candidate now running for Texas governor. Kenneth Thompson, who served in the U.S. Army in Europe, told Click 2 Houston, a Harris County news outlet, he had voted in every election since he was 21 and even remembered paying a 50-cent poll tax in the 1950s. That's incredible, by the way. I've been voting many, many years, and I've never missed a vote, he said, adding that he considers voting a duty. But under a voting restriction bill known as SB 1 and passed last August, Thompson could be unable to meet the state's 31st of January voter registration deadline for an absentee ballot. According to the new law, Thompson is required to submit a social security or driver's license number that matches state or county records. When Thompson registered to vote decades ago, however, such requirements were not in place. He registered to vote in the 1940s, and they didn't require that, said Delinda Holland, Thompson's daughter. Support for Thompson has poured in, including from O'Rourke, who I don't care about him. O'Rourke tweeted, who cares? As Thompson did not meet new requirements under SB 1, his application for an absentee ballot was denied twice. He said he was not notified either time by county officials and had to call to confirm. Again, that's another extremely big gatekeepy mechanism, is you have to call back. Think of you're working, or you don't take voting that seriously. Now, again, I think everyone should take voting extremely seriously. I think everyone should vote in every single election that they can vote for, and do all of the research that they themselves have the power to do, to vote, wisely in those elections. That's my opinion. But again, a lot of people are busy, and a lot of people, they don't like fucking calling people on the phone. You have to wait on hold, you have to find the department. It can take a lot of time. It can be annoying. It's a hassle. It's something people put off, and then they miss a deadline. But again, just think of how many people might, maybe even send their registration in, right? Assume it's fine. Go to vote on election day, or try to get an absentee ballot past the deadline, and then they're told, oh, sorry, we didn't confirm it because, you gave us a copy instead of an original, or some bullshit excuse, and then boom, you can't vote. Again, it's just ridiculous. There's going to be a lot of people not going to vote, said Thompson. If I hadn't called in about mine, people wouldn't have known. That's correct. On behalf of her dad, she said Holland tried to call authorities, including the Office of Texas Secretary of State. Yeah, like that's going to help. Seeking to add his license number to the registration file. She discovered there wasn't any way to do so, which meant he would have to re-register. We know it's a new law, so we're happy to correct his registration. Said Holland, he's a law-abiding citizen. He doesn't want to miss voting, and yet there's no mechanism to add that driver's license to your record. Thompson said he now checks his mailbox every day, hoping his absentee ballot has arrived. If it did not, he said he would vote in person. But again, imagine if you can't vote in person. He's 95, so imagine, like in between now and election day, he has he falls or something. It happens to older people, right? So again, this is a big, it's a big deal. These kinds of laws, because they often impact the most marginalized people, the people that might have a full-time job that's really stressful, that may have kids and don't have time to sit on hold for 20 minutes or play phone tag to find out if they have to vote or find out if they have what they need to vote, right? That kind of stuff. And they know that, right? It's obvious what these laws are in place for. Everyone knows they're white supremacist voting laws and restrictions, right? We all know that. It's not even an open secret. It's just like it's like, oh yes, like that's just okay. They'll proudly admit it when you push them on it a little bit. But again, it's just Republicans are fucking crazy. And what are the Democrats doing about this? Are they talking about it? Are they talking about actually doing stuff? They talk about a lot. Democrats love to talk about the For the People Act and the John Lewis Act and all that stuff, and the Freedom to Vote Act and all that. They love to talk about these things, but do they talk about the filibuster? Do they talk about Joe Manchin's personal investments in coal? Or Kirsten Sinema's donations from, pharmaceutical companies? I mean, if you really cared about fixing all these problems and wanted to solve the problem at a federal level when you have power, because the next time it's going to, even in the next election, the Democrats are not on an even playing field, there's been some analyses that say that they might still not trail too far down, because as it is, I think the thing is Republicans, Democrats need to outperform by 2 or 3 points in order to just hit even or whatever, because of the way that voting laws and restrictions work and the way demographics work in these gerrymandered districts. Yeah, I don't know. I lost my train of thought, but that's what I have to talk about on voting. I wish the Democrats would do more about fixing this problem. And everyone needs to be on the same page that Republicans are crazy. They're fucking crazy. I don't know what to tell you. They're crazy. And, Democrats are bad. They're incompetent. They're annoying. They're lazy. And they're crazy in their own right. But, Republicans are just the open, I'm going to fucking murder you, bitch. What are you going to do about it kind of crazy? So, you just, I don't know. If a goddamn T-Rex, okay, let's say that a fucking polar bear is chasing you on a glacier, right? And there's no way out other than swimming or drowning in fucking Arctic freezing water, right? And then there's a goddamn T-Rex that jumps off of a fucking UFO and has a fucking laser gun. Who are you going to be more concerned about? That's my analogy. I'm going to be more concerned about the T-Rex with the laser gun. That's just me. I don't know. And they have wings and they fly. And they can speak English, and they're saying their darkest secrets out loud, for the whole world to hear, right? Okay, so let's imagine that's the scenario. I'm going to be a little bit more worried about the T-Rex, but again, we also need to be staying mindful, staying active, and staying very informed about what exactly the Democrats' role in this is as well, because that cannot be covered up, that cannot be forgotten, because they do have, the Democratic Party has the tools, right? Now, again, there's certain members of the party that are garbage. So, the Democratic Party itself has the tools. So what they should do is they should try their best to enact these pieces of legislation, or at least make it clear what the problems are, or do more fundraising for these races, which they're not. They're just bad at all of this, and it's frustrating. But anyway, that's that. Rip this guy's voting record. Rip. 7 p.m. 7 days a week. Do the 747. What does the 4 represent? Why should I do 7 p.m.? I am not a nighttime streamer, y'all. I might do like every once in a while a nighttime stream, and I've considered maybe doing that like maybe once a week or every 2 weeks or something, doing something in the nighttime. But I am not a 7 p.m. is too late for me. By 7 p.m. I am not literate at 7 p.m. Frankly, I'm just not good. I'm not going to do a show every day at 7 p.m. It's just not going to happen. Unless there was like a massive shift in all of my interests and all of my, like, you know, like if I move to a different time zone or something, you know, or like, you know, my life was massively restructured in some capacity, then maybe I would consider it. But as of this moment, that's not going to happen. Mentioned you on unelectable airwaves show chat. It's a lot of words. Okay. Mentioned you on unelectable airwaves. So, okay, so there's unelectable, that's a compound word. Airwaves, that's a compound word. But show chat is not a compound word. Shouldn't show chat be a word? Saying you did a really good job in your Hinkle debate and they said they want to have you on. What is that show? I've never heard of the unelectable airwaves show. I'm going to look them up right now as we speak. Oh my god. All right. I'm going to look them up. The unelectable airwaves on Apple Podcast. Okay, they have a YouTube. Unelectable airwaves. Okay. They follow me on Twitter. Oh shit. All right, I'll follow back. It's happening, folks. Check it out. Look. This is it. They want to have me on. I've just followed them back. It's happening. Look at that. See? Look at that. Send this to them. Someone clip this. Yeah, I need to get more people on my show, and I want to go on other people's shows more. I'm just bad at that. I'm bad at networking. You know, I'm not good at it. I'm just, you know, I need a fucking secretary. God damn it. I need a goddamn secretary. That's what I need. I mean, because I like, hi, you know, you want to call on my show? I just can't do it. And like, like, it's even weirder to ask to go on other people's shows, right? Like, it's like, excuse me, can I come on your show, please? How do I type that? I don't know. I don't know what that is. Do I still want Danny Goldberg? I would love that. That would be great. But like, I'm scared. Get business cards. You would be a good pair with Ravana. You did the Dark Crystal stream with her. Yes, that's true. Let her know that. Like, I'm bad at initiating. Like, what should I do? Hi, I did, we were on a stream at one point. Do you remember me? I don't know. It was a long time ago. And someone in my chat said that, like, what do I do? How does that even work? Like, what is the, like, how, I don't know. I can't. It's not happening. I'm telling you right now. It's just not happening. I don't know what to tell you. But so I'm looking at this page here. Chomsky. I think they said they contacted me in the past. Oh, did they? Oh, that makes it even worse because, you know, I get a lot of DMs and sometimes I can't read them all, and then like I don't read them all, and then they sit for a while, and then I'm scared to look at the DMs because it's been so long since I haven't read them, and is it better to respond like 3 weeks later and say, oh, I didn't see this, I'm so sorry, please don't. Like I don't know, I'm bad with this. I can't do it. I need a secretary. I need a secretary, y'all. Otherwise, it's over. This whole experiment is done. All right. So I'm on the unelectable airwaves YouTube channel. The last upload is 3 months ago. Okay. Okay, I'm looking at their Twitter. Can't do it. I need people to do this on my behalf. Like, that's all I can say is like y'all, instead of telling me, oh, you know, it'd be really cool seeing you do a stream with this person who doesn't know you exist. It would be really cool. So like, I can't do that. That's not like, hi, can I, like, you know, I have like 20 people that really like me, and they also kind of like you, and they really want to like I don't know. You gotta, like, you know, you gotta help me out here. I gotta do what? What do I do? I don't even know what to do. I don't know what to do. Like, that's weird. Is that not weird? Like, are people just telling me that this is my own personal, like, mental illness? Like, you're telling me I can just email someone, hey, can I be on your show, lol? Right? Like, how do I write that? Like, hi, here's one of my favorite videos. Then I have to, like, what's my favorite fucking video? Like, what do I send to them? They don't know. They don't know what I don't, like, how do I select? What do I do? How do I do that? So I write, this is one, hey, I want to be on your show because, and here's, I'm important because, look at me, and so like, what, how do I, like, oh, here's my video that I did a video, and maybe I should send them this video, maybe, maybe I should, like, clip this video, and just send everyone who I want to do a collaboration with, I'll just send them this video, right? It's like, hello, you know, you don't know me. Well, you might know me, but I know you. Well, I don't really know you that well, but, you know, we're not friends or anything. But also, I made this video, and if you want to watch this video, please, and then maybe, you know, you know what, should I just, don't send this? Oh, screen cap your chat. Hey, this person should do a show with you. Okay, so we can get everyone to pose. We can get everyone to pose for the screenshot. So what I'll do is I'll say, all right, everyone say the same thing. Like, well, you know, this is like what Jackson Hinkle was doing with those bots or whatever. Like, I don't know. Like, he had like a bunch of people saying the exact same phrase on Twitter to get it trending, right? So everyone, I'm going to give everyone like a seed phrase or whatever. And then, like, you know, everyone copy and paste, but maybe like change a word, like, you know, instead of saying, yeah, that would be great, you could say, yeah, that would be awesome, you know, like, change it up a little bit, like Mad Libs, you know, like, I'll give you all a script, and then you fill in the blanks, and then you all post it at once. We do like a countdown timer, and then I take the screenshot, and I'm making, you know, anyway, yeah. So I think what I'm going to do, my new strategy is to send people this video. I think that's the new strategy. So I'm going to, like, literally just, I'm going to have to write people, can you watch this video? And then, you know, like, and then I'll do that. That's going to be my strategy. I like looking at Andrea. Oh no, don't do that. Clip this shit. I will. Do that. Send the video. All right. Hashtag force the video. Play Minecraft. I like Minecraft. I'm a fan of Minecraft. They are all just content whores. They need to fill time. I mean, I don't know. Like, you know. Comes up organically. Okay. All right, folks. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to clip this video. And this is going to be my strategy. So I'm just going to reach out to people. Maybe I'll just, like, not even say anything. I'll just send them the video. Right? You know, no words, no hello, how are you, no, you don't know me, but I know you. I'm just going to send people out of context this exact thing. Maybe someone should like post this. Not me. Make a clip of this, like, and then do your thing on Twitter. Sometimes yours get posts or retweets or whatever. Do this. This is like an open invitation. You know, I'm scared. I'm lonely. I don't know what to do. And I've got nearly 10,000 subscribers, so get your slot on the Above It All show now. Reservations open. You only do... I said something about Hinkle before. Okay, alright. Jackson Hinkle stinks. Alright, then you edit that in at the end or something. Did you watch Line Goes Up by Folding Ideas? No, I did not. What is that? I will have my people contact your people, if that's what you're asking for. You have people? Wait, I have people? When did I get people? When did that happen? Maybe 0 PE. But then also, like, then do I have to, like, pay you? I don't really want to pay anybody. That's, like, I don't want to pay anyone. I mean, does that make me a bad person? Like, I'd rather just not have the work done. Like, I don't have money. No one gives me money. I'm in poverty. I mean, you see, y'all are talking about Line Goes Up. Line is going down for me. Like, that's, you know, NFT vid. I watched the first ep of Matt Binder's little crypto thing. I've got a lot to say, but you know, I was thinking about maybe doing a segment where I just review the whole video, but Andrea wants slave labor. Maybe I can turn it into like a fucking like femdom thing. Like, you should be paying me to be my secretary. Yeah, that's right. Not only are you going to do my bidding, but you're also going to give me a portion of your paycheck. Yeah, there you go. Oh, Lord. Yeah, I mean, my fundamental critique of anyone who criticizes NFTs or cryptocurrency is that, like, the whole world is a scam, right? Like, every aspect of society is a scam, right? Like, to me, I just feel like the focus on cryptocurrency is so missing the point. Like, it's just like, everything people say about cryptocurrency applies to everything else that they do. You know, like, but like, you're not allowed to like think someone's a bad person if they eat fast food, right? Like, if they eat enriched white bread, you can't think they're a bad person. If they eat meat, you're not allowed to think that they're a bad person, right? But if someone likes crypto, you're allowed to think they're a bad person. To me, it's just weird. It's strange. And it's also like, you know, you can't, like, yes, there's a lot of scams in crypto. There's a lot of scams. There's a lot of scammers, right? We live in like a dystopian hellscape, like late stage capitalism. There's a lot of fucking scammers everywhere. Like, there's people selling they're literally selling fake masks made out of printer paper, and then you open the box and it's like it's not an N95 mask, it's a goddamn fucking piece of printer paper, right? There's scams everywhere. You know, there's phishing scams in your email. There's scams fucking everywhere. So like, I don't know, this idea of like trying to like pretend that crypto is a scam, but fast food is not a scam, or coffee stores are not a scam. I don't know. To me, it's just a weird, it's a hyper fixation that people have. And they also take this moral grandstanding that I despise. Oh, the environment. You know, like fucking scrolling on Twitter all day does more harm to the environment than anyone like trading fucking like meme coins. Like, I'm sorry, you're just... Yeah, Jimmy Fallon and Paris Hilton, I don't know anything about them. I'm going to be honest. I think a lot of the celebrity worship in crypto culture, and just in general culture, by the way, that's how people act in general. Celebrity worship is cringe. It's loser garbage. So yeah, I don't give a fuck about Jimmy Fallon or Paris Hilton. I don't care. I know that they got like the Bored Ape bullshit. The Bored Ape bullshit is ridiculous. I mean, like, that's the other thing is crypto bros do actually make it extremely easy to like make crypto look bad, and that's a whole criticism I have as well. Like the idea that people think NFTs and Bored Apes are like the same thing. That's like when someone calls like every video game Mario. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like, or like, but instead of like, what if Mario was bad? Like, what if Mario was pretty, like, you know, like it's just a shitty game, right? Like, so, but like, oh, what, like, how you doing on that Mario game? And like, you're playing like fucking like Call of Duty, or like you're playing fucking like, I don't know, like Civilization. You know, oh, how's the Mario doing? Like, it's just like it's an illiterate use of words. That's why I don't like when people like, whenever, like, a lot of people say, oh, NFTs suck because they're bad art. So you've seen every NFT? Like, that's like someone saying, I don't listen to music. Well, I mean, you can not listen to music, but to say that music sucks as a general, you know, like, that's just weird. It's strange. It's like not liking Monopoly, so you don't like board games. It's like, what? Like, I mean, you know, if I love Monopoly, right? You know, but if you don't like, and then also, then people love to go like the step further, right? Where it's like, not only do I not like Monopoly, but I think you're a bad person for liking Monopoly. And I also think that Monopoly should be banned. And that's the authoritarian impulse that I see is just very bizarre. Like, and again, hate the rich. I'm not saying that, like, you know, that all crypto bros are good. I mean, rich people suck. Like, the spam, scam, promotion, bullshit, garbage is dumb. It's cringy. It's stupid, is what it is. But that's like saying that, like, I don't know, like, that's like saying gamers are stupid because of the most, like, anyone who plays games is stupid because gamers who, like, spend all their time on 4chan all day are stupid. That doesn't make playing games stupid. That doesn't make you a bad person because you're into playing video games. And so that's my criticism mostly. And you know, I feel like it's just like the moral grandstanding is so ludicrous to me. Like, how many of these people that say, "Oh, the environment, crypto is evil, it's destroying the world," how many of them eat meat? Like, I'm just like, oh my God, like, processed meat. How many of them eat processed meat? Like, that's the thing. Like the worst thing a cryptocurrency scam can do is take all of your money. The worst, like these people that eat like processed food garbage, not only are they losing their money, and it's not like they're putting it into something they could theoretically take it out of later, right? Like, you know, but they're losing their money. It's a one-time purchase, and they're literally killing themselves. Like, think about that. Like, I don't know, like, fast food, what's on grocery store shelves, in my opinion, is more of a problem than cryptocurrency, right? And so, like, I don't know, like, this hyperfixation, I think it's a fad. I think that there's, like, an actual, like people think that crypto is a fad. I personally disagree. I think the crypto hating bullshit is, like, a niche fad that people are into. You know, that is really bizarre. At the same time, I think you seem to be very averse to very real criticisms are down. No, there's a lot of big criticisms I have about cryptocurrency. But one of my problems is it's like one of those things where it's like most of the criticism comes from people that don't know what they're talking about. And that's one of my problems. Like, when people think all NFTs are Bored Apes, or they like associate that with like art thieves. Guess what? Every art industry has art thieves, right? When computers, there were people that were against computers because you could copy and paste music files. Like that to them was stealing. Like, but how many people pirate? You know, so it's like, you know, it's just, to me, it's illogical. There's so many illogical criticisms. And that's why it makes it like, yes, there's a lot of scams in cryptocurrency. There's a lot of scams everywhere. Like, I'm down to talk about the scammers. I'd love to like go in depth about, and there's a lot of fucking cringy morons that are into NFTs. Like, they're fucking loser fucking morons and they suck. But like, you can say that about people that like sports. Like, there's a lot of cringy losers that like sports. Think about the damage to society that sports does, right? It's a fucking fucking $1 trillion fucking industry that profits off of the suffering of people. It pays a bunch of people a lot of money, and a lot of these people that get involved in sports are poor people, so they spend their whole life wishing, maybe I'll get picked for the NFL. Maybe I'll get picked for the whatever the other ones are, I don't know, right? So they spend their whole childhoods hoping for a dream, and how many of those people actually get picked, right? It's a lottery. You have to get lucky. And then really, all right, you got picked to be a fucking sports star. You get rich for a couple years, but guess what? You destroy your body. You fucking get massive brain injuries. You're literally killing yourself for money for other people's entertainment. So I have a lot of problems with sports. But whenever I have a conversation like this with someone who's like being like weirdly anti-crypto, right? They always like turn it into like, oh, but I like sports, so it's okay. Oh, well, I like fast food, so it's okay. Or, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. Like, there's always the excuse of, well, I like this. Well, what if people like NFTs? What if there's people that actually look at the Bored Apes and they go like, damn, that's pretty cool. It's not for me, but I don't care. It's the same thing as like football. I have a lot of criticism of football, but do I think someone's a bad person if they enjoy watching football? No. So that's my problem with crypto critics. They're missing the plot. Let's look at this poll, folks. End poll. So it looks like tomorrow I'm going to be doing... You're making me bring this out. The SS. You're making me bring out the SS and the goddamn. This is what you're doing to me now. Well, I guess that one. I'm still confused by the environmental concerns with crypto. So, okay, like this is like a multiple things are allowed to be true kind of scenario. So like proof of work and the way Bitcoin is mined is stupid. It's dumb and it's way too energy intensive for no reason. That can also be true. That's true. But guess what? So are video games being played at maximum graphics. You don't need to play with all the fucking shiny glitter textures and all that stupid shit, right? So you can make an argument that that's excessive. So what if someone has like multiple refrigerators in their house? Like let's say they've got like a mini fridge in like 3 rooms in their house, and they've got like a fridge in the kitchen and like a fucking freezer in the backyard or whatever the fuck, right? Should that be banned? Like that's excessive. The capitalistic society, modern society as we live in right now, is excessive. Like, yes, Bitcoin is one example. So are, like, climate controlling empty office buildings. Like, there was a study done throughout the pandemic of since offices were being shut down, they actually still were being climate controlled because, like, I don't know, they have documents in them or, you know, whatever the excuse is. So they've got these giant empty office buildings with 24/7 air conditioning. Are all these people that hate Bitcoin going to talk about that? I don't know, so whenever people talk about how bad Bitcoin is, I like to just broaden the conversation to capitalism in general. And, you know, there's a certain kind of person that's fine with, and that's cool, but most people that are very viciously against crypto, are just, like, really silly about it, and it's, you know, it's my opinion. I'm a little interested in what Andrea eats daily, right? But I eat food. I typically eat food. And And so I often, actually, I would even go as far as to say I often eat food, I would say. I mean, it's something I tend to do. But I am going to do a cooking show again at some point soon. So, just wait for that, I will say. Just wait for that, and you will see. You will see. Do you drink the vodka beer? I don't know what vodka beer is. I like vodka. Not a huge fan of beer. Am I a vegan? I'm a vegetarian. I eat eggs and cheese. So yes, I'm a little bit of a hypocrite as well, but not as much as the fucking meat eaters, let me tell you. Honey, I never liked honey. I'm not a honey fan. Not a honey fan. Oh no. Oh, I just got a message that's making me I can't read it. I'll have to read that later when there's not a camera here. I'll be unhealthy as hell if I have to wait that long. Well, I'm you know, I'm trying to plan out this cooking show a little bit because I want it to be like something where like every episode, like I want it to be like a kind of a show where it's like if let's say you find my channel like while I'm on episode like 73, right? I want there to be information gained and utilized over time. And I want it to be like kind of like a course kind of like in that kind of fashion. Like I want to broaden things over. So I want it to be like, I want to plan it out, if that makes sense. Because I want to like also make it educational because there's a lot of people, you know, my old version of my cooking show is just me cooking and then ranting and raving, which is, you know, it's a good format. And that's going to be like the format, for this as well. But like, there's a lot of people that think because I'm a vegetarian, that means I'm a rich trust fund woke liberal, right? This is like a common myth, that people have, like that meat's cheap and good for you. God dang, right? That's what they think that, right? They're crazy, right? So, you know, I like the, you know, I want to have it to be like how, like, yes, you can eat healthy, you can eat as a vegetarian, you can cook for yourself. And you can not wait, like, I want to have, like, time sensitivity. You know, a lot of common criticism of people not being able to cook for themselves is I don't have the time for it. I would like to provide, you know, the you know, quick things you can make in 10 minutes. Or, like, if you have, like, 40 minutes of free time, you can meal prep something in the refrigerator that's, you know, healthy and good and tastes good and cheap and all that. And then you just put it in the microwave for 2 minutes or whatever, right? So, you know, I want all these like common myths to be a core component of this because like I don't have money. I'm poor, right? I was extremely unhealthy for most of my life and I fixed a lot of my health problems with fixing my diet. So I feel like I've got a little bit of a success story, you know, like, you know, so, you know, I'm going to try to utilize that. But, yeah, because I think personally that's like a form of activism for me because I think one of the things that capitalism does to your brain is it makes you, first of all, people don't question the world around them. 63% of Americans still believe in Jesus. They still think Jesus is a thing. 63%! They're going around every day like, Jesus, yeah. You believe in Jesus? Hell yeah, I believe in Jesus. Oh, Jesus, I love you, Jesus. 63 fucking percent. Like, that's how, like, we're, like, that's crazy, man. Like, that's insane. 95% of Americans don't eat enough fiber. What's fiber? Vegetables. They don't eat vegetables. Right? Like, I mean, like, come on. That's crazy. That's crazy talk. That's something that, like, you know, that's a modern crisis, but nobody talks about. Because when you start criticizing someone's diet, that's like a personal thing. But my habits are, I'm poor, but, you know, because it's comforting. You need to have that excuse, right? You need to, like, externalize the problem. Like, again, I'm telling you, like, I'm not, I can eat very poor. And I have for a long time. What's wrong with being religious? I think that's a very broad question, so I'll save it for last. You do know that most socialists in Latin America are religious, right? I think religion is stupid, and I do know that most socialists in Latin America are religious, and that is no exemption for me. That part of them, that part of their culture is dumb. Religion is dumb. Same in the Arab world with Islam. Islam is also stupid. Now, again, I think believing in something that I consider to be stupid does not mean I don't like you. It does not mean we can't be friends. It does not mean I think you're a bad person, right? There's people out there that, like, that, like, are liberals that think capitalism is a good idea, and I'm like, I talk to them and we're friends, and, like, like, we talk about, like, there's people out there that, like, in my family especially, that have some very questionable politics, and, sometimes I try to be on good terms with them because I don't want to be on the fucking end of that fucking, I don't want to face that goddamn scene, right? So, so I'm not saying that being religious makes you a bad person. I'm not saying that eating meat makes you a bad person. I'm not saying that, like, whatever, like, using Twitter makes you a bad person. I'm not saying that, like, owning 2 refrigerators makes you a bad person. I'm just saying we all live in a society where people don't question the things that we're taught, and that's evident when it comes to religion, right? Jesus is clearly made up. I mean, like, there is no amount, like, it's made up garbage. It's Santa Claus. I'm sorry. Like, I know that people find, like, just stating the obvious is offensive to people. And I understand that, because for a lot of people, Jesus is a personal thing. Like, again, just like with people's diets, right? Like, the comfort food that they have, like, even if it's not that super unhealthy, like, I like popcorn. That's one of my comfort food. And sometimes I'll put, like, things I shouldn't, I used to just eat air popped or air popped with hot sauce, which is pretty good for you. But, sometimes I put oil on, or I put, like, some cheese on my pot, sometimes butter, or maybe a little bit, right? So, I don't, so I'm allowed, right? Like, people are allowed to have, like, and that's my comfort thing. But, like, some people, their comfort food is ice cream. Does that mean that because they eat ice cream that they're a terrible person? No. And I understand why people would feel hurt if someone, like, criticized something that they really liked. Like it's, I don't think Jesus is just like a movie, like, or like a video game. Like, I like Doom, right? If you don't like Doom, right, like should I get offended? I'm not saying you're a stupid person if you're religious necessarily. I think that part of you is stupid personally, but I also would ascribe that to someone I would disagree with on video games or politics or food or music or something. Like, it's just, Jesus is fake. It's not real. I'm sorry. Like, I cannot put up with that delusion at all. I don't like sports. I don't think liking sports makes you a bad person. You got a hot bod for sure. I try my best. Gained too much weight and have become pretty unhealthy since the beginning of the pandemic. When the pandemic started, I made it like I had a lot of, I don't want to go on about my health story, hashtag. But as the pandemic was starting, I was not in the unhealthiest position of my life at all by any stretch, but I was, like, getting into these habits as the pandemic was starting. So, like, January, February, March of 2020, I was kind of, I was losing it, folks. I was losing it. And then so when the pandemic started and people were talking about potentially locking down, that didn't end up really happening in North Carolina, but I locked down, whatever. I thought to myself, like, now's my chance to catch up. Like, I got this time, an unknown amount of time to work on myself and just catch up, do everything I need to do to fix, my health problems. And, I read a lot of books. I learned a lot of new skills, my own personal college. Sandy is in your chat almost daily. Maybe try to learn who's in your chat and follows you and then talk to them. Duh, just pay attention, dude. What did I do? What did I say? What did I do? What did I say something wrong? Oh no. What did I do? Did I hurt someone's feelings? I'm sorry. Yeah, I know Sandy has a show. I'd like to go on. It just hasn't happened yet. Is that what you're talking about? Oh my god, I'm sorry. I'm trying to find where the chat is. You're sounding like a Redditor. I didn't know this was still the era of fedoras and Richard Dawkins. I mean, I'll wear the fedora label if I need to. You don't even know who's in your chat? Well, should I be investigating everyone's personal lives? Should I be, like, looking them up and creeping on all of their... Like, I don't... Like, that's weird. I don't know. Should I not... Like, I don't... That's weird. Is that expected of me? Is that, like... Am I in that part? Is this, like, a relationship that we're developing? Like, I mean, I'm fine just whatever you say in the chat room. And, like, maybe if, like, you follow me on Twitter or reply to me, I'll sometimes follow you back. I don't mind. I usually do. Like, do I need to, like, creep on you? Like, do I need to, like, call your parents and ask them for your life story? Like, I don't know. My thing is religion is another form of control. It's another form of capitalism. It's another form of oppression. It's another form of censorship. It silences people. I mean, just look at, the reaction to someone like, I don't mean to be hyperbolic here, but, like I shouldn't be allowed to criticize religion because Latin American socialists can be religious. Like, I mean, like, let's be honest here. Like, it's a weird thing to expect. A lot of my family members go to church twice a day for hours. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, that is crazy. That's crazy. Like, it's one thing if, like, they're doing, like if someone's really into an MMO, right? Like, and they're playing for, like, I've been there 16 hours a day, I've been there, I play an MMO for 16 hours a day. Sometimes I go 24 hours, whatever. Right? It happens. But, like that's concerning, right? Like, it's a little concerning. If I knew someone that was doing that would be concerning. But then imagine if they, like, actually believed that, like, this MMO was, like, somehow spiritually connected to the world and the universe or some shit. Like that's like the extra step. Like, if people went to church just to, for the singing, they like the songs, they like the community, they know it's all made up, but they just like to go along with it. It's like fun. It's like going to, like, like a dance class or something, it's just something to do. That's fine. If you're going there for entertainment, that's fine. But once you start believing in these, like, grandiose, like, oh yes, that's... I usually use olive oil, Mila, on my popcorn. I usually use olive oil. Is that a good oil? Please. Now I use canola oil and soybean oil. That's what I use. Just kidding. I mean, that doesn't even have a taste. Why would you even use that at all? Awesome show today. Oh my god, thank you. There has to be more environmentally friendly cryptos. There's plenty. You look good. Oh my god. Thank you. I think the only good thing about religion is the fellowship aspect of it. That's the thing, right? Like, I love that. That's great. Like, if we could get people to congregate and, like, with, like, on time, very strict schedules, and instead of talking about gay Jesus and goddamn and the Bible and that snake over there and Lucifer, right? Instead of doing that, we talked about how to organize a fucking, general strike or, just like imagine like if instead of every like time throughout the day, oh, I wonder what God would do. Like maybe you would like if like the collective IQ of the country and the world would increase phenomenally if people, but if it's just entertainment, like again, if people just want to have entertainment, that should also be a thing. Like how come we can't get 400 people to go have a movie night? Like how come we can't get like a whole neighborhood to just congregate in like someone's yard and get like a projector and have a movie night, and then every like let's say you have like 300 or like 52 fucking people that do this movie night, like each like everyone has their week in the year, and you all watch each other, like it's like that's fine. Like we need to have more ways to do this as a society. How come religion is the only way that people do that shit is by like I ain't got no Jesus? You should put just as much effort into stalking your crowd as your crowd does stalking you. That's true. Andrea could work a fedora. That's also true. Yes, creep on me. Oh, okay. All right. Maybe. Religion is a type of peer pressure. I agree on that one. I think it's oxymoronic to be a socialist or communist and be religious. I also think that. I do. I really do. I mean, like, does that mean that you should be disqualified from leftism if you're religious? No, I'm not going to be that kind of a little, like, prick. But I don't get it. Like, abolish all hierarchies except Jesus is the one true Lord. What? Like, okay, you're a communist. You want a society without hierarchies. You want a society without a state, without money, right? Like without like anyone being any better or higher up. And then you want to have a Jesus figure or like like what? Like to me it's not for me. I don't know. That's not for me. But if it's for you, then okay. But it's not for me. Socialists should be against hierarchy. The Pope is the definitionally the top of it. You have to. Oh yes, absolutely. If Andrea can forgive me for loving bacon, I can forgive her for loving crypto. I mean, everyone gets a get out of jail free card for one thing, right? The Bible, the first book ever. And push it on everyone. I've seen crazy things at church. It is fucking crazy. Peanut oil. Chick-fil-A is canceled, but peanut oil is not bad. Exactly, I'm against hierarchies in all forms, especially religion. I'm going to get up to stop the show soon here, by the way. So I appreciate it. I'm really high, and so sometimes the chat's just fun to engage with. So I'm glad that we did this. But I'm going to wrap it up soon. Canola oil sucks. Yeah, I mean, I only used that for cooking, like, before I knew any better, and because it's cheap. But, like, I couldn't imagine using it as, like, a topping for, like, pasta or anything like that. That's bizarre. The mythology of religions, absolutely, yeah. The mythology can be pretty cool. To like Greek religion is super neat and interesting. Like that's some cool stuff. I'd love to learn more about like the religions of the Americas. Like South America has some really cool religious practices. Now a lot of them they threw people in volcanoes and stuff. But Europe also murdered people who believed that the sun revolved around the earth or whatever. So all religions murder people in one way or another, right? So but again, I just from a mythology standpoint, this is how people lived at a point in time, like a historical, just like I'm very interested in civilizations and history and archaeology and that kind of stuff, and so on that angle, absolutely. Reminder, when are you going to do the dream thing? It's just, yes, it's on the list. It's on the list. That involves being social, and I don't like being social. I'm bad. I've got massive social anxieties, but I try, I really do try to, it's one thing where it's the best way to get over that is to just have repeated exposure. So for me, I try to organize my life in a way that it's I want to be able to do things, so I try not to limit myself in that way. So if there's something I'm have any remote interest in, I'll try to force myself to engage with it, that kind of stuff. And it usually produces good outcomes. Muslims are persecuted in the West. We need to protect them. Anyone who like does religious discrimination, like again, for like hate crimes and that kind of stuff, or like says, you know, that's ridiculous. I mean, it's because like most of the time it's like the Jesus freaks attacking, like, you know, someone for, you know, being a Muslim. It's like, okay, you believe in Jesus Christ, bro. Like what the fuck are you doing, right? But then it's also like, you know, I don't want to ever seem like I am like a you know, Christianity is the dominant majority in the United States of America. I was born in a country where Christianity was the stupid fuck garbage all around me. And I understand that Islam and stuff, you know, I understand that those are like, I still think that they're dumb. Like, I'm not going to like pretend that they're not dumb, but I understand that they're minorities, and they, honestly, I don't have any exposure to them really at all. Like, I have a couple of Muslim friends or Jewish friends or what, you know, I have a couple of friends that are like believe in some other religious stuff, but you know, like, I don't have too much exposure and negatively, you know, like most of that was like during childhood, you know, where it's like, you know, people force God down your throat, and then like, you know, you have people like Jesus freaks like abuse you, or, you know, that kind of shit. Or it's like, you know, not to say that I was abused like in a sexual way, but, you know, like yelled at by people for not believing in God. Like I remember I've told y'all my Christian summer camp stories. Like that shit's crazy. You know, like that shit's crazy to me. Like it's hilarious in a way, but it's like, it's also crazy, right? So I've had like a lot of repeated exposure to like the hostile elements of Christianity. So that's something I'm not going to worry about criticizing at all, to be honest with you. But I mean, look at Islam though. I mean, like Islam is a horrible religion. I mean, like, let's just be honest. But so is so is 99% of these ones. But like, I don't want to pretend like Islam is a good religion. It's not. Yeah, I don't know. Is there a verdict? Yeah, look at the top of the screen. I did a whole like hullabaloo. You must have not. Yeah. Today's been a dream show, not exactly what I imagined it would be, but still a dream. What does that mean? What does it mean it's been a dream? Is that good? Is that good? I mean, I'm just really high, so. And sometimes, you know, oh, by the way, folks, I'm expanding the Nicolas Cage collection. I got this in the mail. Haven't seen it yet, so future review coming up soon. Trying to get a physical copy of every Nick Cage movie. That's my new obsession. But folks, tomorrow, Sunday, I'll be back at noon Eastern. Noon. Nick Cage is a national treasure. Agreed. Agreed? Absolutely. But yes, if y'all continue to pressure me to like reach out to other people and do that kind of stuff, I will probably be more likely to do that. Because I do have problems with that, you know, so definitely push me on that. I still want to do that dream show. I'm going to get back into that soon. I'm going to do the cooking show. I'm doing this Doom stream on Monday. I've got a lot of shit that I want to do. But I'm doing the Doom stream on Monday. So if you've been enjoying the daily Doom speedruns that I've been putting up, I'm going to be doing a stream Monday after the main show. I'm going to be doing a stream where I do my top 10 runs that I've done of the month, and then I'll give the little commentary of the run. So it's like, you know, how annoying getting a certain thing was, or, you know, talk about how I don't even remember doing the run because I was probably drunk or something. You know, so that's the commentary. And so that's going to be taking place after Monday's Above It All. So that's going to be happening. and then I'm going to be doing that like once a month of, you know, the monthly top 10s, because, you know, average month is 30 days. So it's like, you know, it's like 1/3 of the runs I'll upload, I'll do like a commentary version of, and then it'll also be live streamed. So if someone wants to ask a question about something, there you go, right? It's a positive thing, perhaps too positive. What's a positive thing? What are we talking about? What is it? Wait, like, I'm like just a little, you know, for me, for my sake, right? Especially when I'm high as hell. If you're gonna use the word it, please like give me a clue, because I might get to that message much later and I don't know what it is. It's a positive thing. Are we like Stephen King's It, the book, the first iteration of the movie, the second iteration of the movie? Like what are we it? Like what is it? I don't know what it is. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be honest, folks. I don't like. I'm just 100%. I don't care at all about what your opinion on Vaush is. I don't watch Vaush. I know some people like Vaush. Apparently, Vaush saw a clip of me on stream at some point. People are telling me that. Today's been a dream show. Oh, okay. It is the show. Okay. It's a positive thing, or the dream show is a positive thing? Okay. Now I remember. I don't care about Vaush. And that's not to say I don't like him. I don't like him. I don't dislike him. I don't like him. I don't watch his content. I don't follow him on Twitter. I don't know anything about Vaush except for sometimes when there's a clip that's trending. And then like half the time I look into it and like Vaush actually made a good point, but he was taken out of context. Half the time, like I feel like he's making a silly point, but maybe like the context was like, you know, he wasn't making that silly of a point, or it's like, okay, it's a silly point, but who cares? You know, like I don't care about, like, it's the same, like I don't care about it. Like, and maybe I should, maybe I should get more involved in that, because maybe I could get views about it. Like maybe I could do that. Like, I don't know, I make fun of people like Jackson Hinkle. That's just because people introduced me to him in a critical way, you know. But every time someone sends me a Vaush clip, I end up going like, I don't care. Like it's not a bad thing, or he's actually right, or I just don't care. You know, like I don't think Vaush is that big of a deal. I've never heard Vaush say anything that's like disqualifying. Like I've heard some other people in these like leaning spaces say. Like I don't like, to me it seems like he's just like is a debate bro, and that's not my thing. Whatever you do, don't mess with that new... Oh my god. Okay, so folks, for those of you who don't know the origin of this, so there's a new Yu-Gi-Oh game. Paladin, I think, came in my show, came in the chat like a week ago, whenever it was, and said, "Oh, there's a new Yu-Gi-Oh game." And I saw it because I saw that there's a Steam sale, and I saw that listed on there, even though it's free. So this is the follow-up. Now we're at the end section of the story, or maybe the middle section. Maybe now I'll check out the game. Who knows? But okay, so Paladin says, Andrea, whatever you do, don't mess with that new Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel game. It is a very terrible gacha game. That's a shame. That's a shame. I just want a fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Game that's like fucking Forbidden Memories, or like fucking Eternal Duelist Soul, or my favorite new Yu-Gi-Oh! Game. Well, my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Game is Forbidden Memories, but it doesn't follow the TCG format. So it's like a pseudoly different category, but it's still my favorite. My second favorite game, and also my favorite TCG format Yu-Gi-Oh! Game, is Nightmare Troubadour on the DS. That game, it was like right before like the cringy part of GX, so it has a couple like GX stuff in it, but it also follows the Yu-Gi-Oh! Like original lore. I'm sorry, I'm not into the GX anime. People tell me it's good. Maybe I'll watch it someday. Maybe, I don't know. I like Yuki. I like Joey. I like Kaiba. That's my thing. Right, so I like that. So Nightmare Troubadour has like the best like card list, but then it's also like, it's, you know, I personally play like 2002 to 2004, but I think that game came out like a year later, and it's on DS. So like you see all like there's the hologram models and stuff. It's super cool. But also my Third favorite Yu-Gi-Oh game is Eternal Duelist Soul on the Game Boy Advance, because that's got the cards that I like my favorite era of Yu-Gi-Oh. And it's got like the banger tunes. It's good as hell. And it's got like, the good characters and all the stuff that I like. But also like, it's a GBA game versus the DS game that I mentioned earlier. So it's like, I do really like watching the like actual models fight each other. That's cool. Anyway, I'm going to turn the show off. I've been ranting and raving. But I will not check out the new Yu-Gi-Oh game. So thank you for the warning. Okay, so see, 0 PE, I don't know why anyone would even say that. Like, okay, so like there's two kinds of people, right? There's the person who's like privately a little bit of a bigot, but like publicly is super anti-bigot, right? That's one thing. Like, I personally think it's bad, but also, how do I know that? Then there's the one person who is openly privately bigoted, but like openly anti-bigot, or like knows that bigotry is bad, but sometimes they slip in whatever, like that. Like, why give that detail? That's the real main problem for me, honestly, with that is why would anyone tell you that? Like, why? Like, let's assume you are privately bigoted. Like, was this leaked in some way? Why would that, like, why would you say that? Like, it's an unnecessary thing to say. It's an unnecessary thing to say. I'm sorry, Johnny Too Late FTV. All right, folks. That's it. That's the show. I'll see y'all tomorrow at noon. And that is it. It's over. It's done. It's gone. It's done. It's gone. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's done. Get the hell out of here. It's over. Look at this. Listen to this. Hold up. Look at that. That's the music. That's the music. That means it's over, right? Listen, look. It's over. That means that's cue the get the fuck out. That's when you get the fuck out. Get out of here. Get out. It's over. It's done. It is done. It's gone, is what it is. It's gone. But you know one thing? It is gone. We are ending the stream. It is happening. But
should we have done that sooner?
We are doing it.
But should we have done it sooner?
We are doing it.
No, seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of raw peppers and hot sauce.
Something like that. They went out on some corporate news show and they said that we are not going to guarantee a vote for Nancy Pelosi. What? I'm putting an accent on there. What the hell is this? What the hell is this?
I hate the white man. He's of the devil. He was made in a cave.
As far as my relationships with all people, I think I have great relationships with all people. I am the least racist person in this room. Racist person. The least racist person. The least racist person. I am the least racist person in this room. Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Could you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. Worst candidate. I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier. You said you were, but now you got to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you.
Early in the morning, they went to the table with the black robe, the black shield, and they pulled out the votes. Those votes were put there a number of hours before.
At the same time, the vaccine is one of the greatest achievements of mankind. The world is actually a small piece of the universe, right? They're coming all over the place. At the same time, the vaccine is one of the greatest achievements of mankind. The world is actually coming all over the place. I don't wear masks like him. Every time you see him, he's got a mask. He could be speaking 200 feet away from it. He shows up with the biggest mask I've ever seen. Everybody comes in your grandmother. Everybody comes in your grandmother ear. And he's like this. I need water. Help me. I need water. And we were. They're coming all over. 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 Everybody comes in your grandmother. Everybody comes in your grandmother. And he's like this.
In case you don't know, and you haven't seen the latest polls, the American people hold the President of the United States in contempt. They hold this institution in contempt. They hold the Republican Party in contempt. They hold the Democratic Party in contempt. They think that maybe, given all of the crises facing this country, it's about time that there was some bold leadership here and that this institution made some hard choices.
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree.
Look, talk about education. I propose that what we take is those very poor schools, the type of teacher. They have every problem coming to them. We have make sure that 5-year-olds go to school, not daycare, school, raise their children. It's not they don't want to help. They don't know quite what to do. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night.